Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Half-Faith Esports Series Week 2 between Supernova and Katarina wine mixers. I am joined by
Mo Fracky.
And thank you very much for tuning in, watching, getting prepared, getting ready to get things underway and going. Let's go ahead and jump right into the match right off the bat, guys. The wine mixers versus the Supernovas. Here we go. Middle of the week.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for this match. I think we have Supernova sitting at 0-1 in the series, or in the league right now, and the wine mixers are sitting at 1-1. So this should be a pretty good matchup.
So, you yesterday had your own little casting situation going on. You did a pretty good job here, but now Army's in the mix. Let's see how good you do this time around.
Let's bring it on, bring it on. I think we're going to have some good synergy tonight from both teams. I'm excited to watch the play. And to start off, we have a Zed ban and a Cho'Gath ban, both very good plays or bans in this meta. Zed can be very hard to deal with, especially in the elos that we're watching. Some of the elos that we are watching range anywhere from bronze all the way up to platinum. Tonight, I think it's a good mix of both. We'll see a majority of gold and silver. I think will be the average mix. And on the ban, we also see a Jace and Syndra ban. Two other good bands.
Taking two right off the top here. We got, with Syndra being gone, I think Bunny was concerned about Nucking Futz's mid-laning Syndra, but I guess wants to take the safe option out. Also takes away the LeBlanc on top of that. Really focusing on Nucking Futz so far. Very interesting.
Yeah, we saw a little bit last night. We saw DK9 play LeBlanc against Orianna mid lane, and I think that's exactly why we saw the LeBlanc. Orianna pretty much got owned last night by LeBlanc, so I think that's what they're trying to negate there.
And there you have it, immediately selected Orianna, followed by an immediate grab by Lord Sir Pounce of his top laner, Singed.
Singed is a very interesting pick. For a lot of people who aren't familiar with him, it'd obviously be a terrible pick, but apparently Lord Sir over here feels very confident that he can make an impact with Singed. We'll see if that's going to be true tonight.
Oh yes, it will be extremely important to have Singed exactly do what a Singed normally does in games, and that's proxy farming, pressuring, trying to get the attention of Knighted, bring the attention up top side to try to set up these kill situations. Really, really good Singes that I've seen are able to do proxying so well they can even invade into an enemy base and get out of there scot-free while dragging away multiple forms of attention. Just really good Singed plays can really take control of the environment around them.
And I hope we see that tonight. Looking at what I'm excited about after the other two picks is J4 against the Sejuani. I like the Sejuani pick against J4. Yesterday we saw J4 in 2 games by KD9, and they just dominated with that J4. And they didn't really have a counter pick for J4. The Sejuani in this current meta is a great pick. Good for CC, good for tanking. I don't see J4 doing as much as we saw from J4 yesterday. I know we're looking at 2 different players as well, but champs are the champs. I like the Renekton pick for top over for Supernova, and it looks like the wine mixers went with Malzahar for mid. Malzahar, very solid pick early game. Problem I see with Malzahar is not a great pick in team fights. He's going to have his ult where he focuses someone, but in team fights it's not really great, because if your team is doing what they're supposed to, they jump in on Malzahar and tear him down really quickly, making him almost ineffective in a team fight. However, his ability to poke at you is pretty high, but again, if a team is diving on Malzahar, he's not really an escape artist. So
in response, during that very long-winded explanation of Malzahar, but by the way, very informative, thank you very much. we actually had a lot more 80 carry focus bans. Meanwhile, on the response, Supernova actually focuses the support here. So Jaguar took away 380 carries off the board to try to hinder Boost Your Moment down, quite a bit, trying to make it so that way he has to dig deep into his 80 carry pull. While Jaguar, while on Katarina wine mixers, they were really expecting to try to really force Boost Your Moment into a bad spot. But on the opposite side, Supernova really just wanted to take away the support options from Wookie Heart, and I guess they wanted to take one of the safest bot lanes into the game, Katarina and Janna. What is going to be the response here?
Well, I think from the wine mixers, I think it's really good that they banned Twitch and Tristana if they don't want to pick either one of those. They're currently top of the meta for ADCs right now. I even like the Sivir ban specifically because of Sivir's E. It pretty much negates any magic damage done. A one-shot that helps with blitzes and threshes and Morganas. So that was a really good ban as well. Mm-hmm. And I think Jaina's... Go ahead, sorry.
I see kind of a bit of an issue here from Katarina wine mixers right now. I feel like they have a bit of a difference in battle strategy here. Malzahar is kind of defensive, Morgana's a defensive support, Ashe is kind of like a certain type of aggressiveness. Jarvan's, able to make that catching play. But the problem is, I feel like these pieces are kind of not exactly fitting very well together. I mean, Singe is pretty strong, don't get me wrong here. And Ashe is a very strong, as a champion, get her into late game, Ashe is really, really strong. But these pieces don't seem like they fit very well together and could hinder each other if certain things go a certain way.
I think Morgana will definitely help Ashe out a lot in staying alive in early game. I don't know how well Ashe will scale up against a Caitlyn. It really depends on who gets fed or if they're about equal throughout the game. I think that Jaina pick is a very good pick right now out of supports. She is top of the meta. Very annoying champ to deal with if you're good with her.
You're right, and Kira is about to show Katarina wine mixers if that is the case or not. Let's hope for Katarina's sake, it's going to be a dominating Janna performance. But, for the laning phase wise, I think Katarina wine mixers really don't exactly have the upper hand in each one of the laning phases. In fact, I feel like it's really going to come down to Stinny to decide the most important fact on each side here.
I think this is going to be a good matchup. Looking at both team compositions, I think it could play out in many series of different ways. I really am looking for Sejuani to counter that J4 this game. And Malzahar really has to put pressure early on Orianna and try to outfarm and just kind of stop her from doing anything or being an impact early in the game. Orianna scales extremely well. In late game, I see Orianna just destroying a Malzahar if equally footed. So this should be a really good matchup. I can't wait to see it.
Right, and I'm more curious at this stage in time about how well their engage is going to be. For Supernova, they are currently feeling a little bit of that chill weather after their recent defeat. But meanwhile, Katarina Winemakers also have themselves a couple of good, defeats as well. So both sides are just kind of like in a really turnaround situation for both sides, as they basically are both icebergs about ready to collide into each other for the first time. Let's see if that can somehow create some friction, and maybe we can get some global warming in there. Let's see what these guys have in store for us.
I love the description. Love it. This will be a good match. And keep in mind, this is also this is a first season for this Half Faith Esports League. I'm really excited to see how it turns out over a 5-week period, and see what teams make it into the playoffs and see what teams look forward to. I'm trying to take it all home. And because it's also new, keep in mind that these teams are getting to know each other. They're really starting to understand each other, and so I think developing through the season, we're going to see a lot better team plays, a lot better team compositions, a lot better communication between everybody, and it will just progressively get better.
Indeed. Let's see what the game has in store for us here, though, because it's going to be a very tightly contested matchup, I'd say. I don't think either side really has a big advantage against the other until team fight time, where I believe Supernova should actually come out on top. It all depends on how plays are going to be made in between in the laning phases, but most importantly, I think it's going to come down to the jungler ganks.
I'm excited to see that. I'm really excited to see that. Really, what's going to shine is who's the better jungler here. If I don't see J4 trying to put pressure, I don't think it's smart that J4 should try to put pressure on the Sejuani. I don't know. I'm really curious to see how this plays out. I'm excited.
Well, Broly and Swole taking out Renekton versus the Singe here. It's a lane bully versus a farming champion, and I feel Pounce might have the upper hand unless Renekton can get his claws on him. That might be a very dangerous match. If Singe does not get away from that Renekton, it's going to be some heavy damage onto Singe.
The one thing I'm looking at Singe to do as he does his flip and slow, throws you into his gas. Renekton can use his ability just to jump right back through and continue to miss and dodge that gas and do damage on Singe. I don't know that Singe is going to be a great pick early game, but again, if you're picking it in this and during the season, you must be pretty confident. So let's see how Singe plays out.
Indeed. I'm hoping for the best right now for both sides here. They both really want to get a win on the board for their respective sides here. It's about time we get ourselves a win for somebody. It's going to happen today. Somebody's got to win. And an immediate pause! As you can clearly see right now, Kira is dead smack dab in the middle of the four other members. I think that's quite clear at who is AFK. That means Katarina should be hopefully coming, Kira, sorry, should be coming back soon. And there's the reconnect. So let's see if we can get this going right now. Well, it looks as if the pause time is incredibly short. Thank goodness for that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves right back into the game, shall we?
Here we go. Again, I'm Knucking Futz is the captain, and he's leading the wine mixers against Supernova, who is 0-1, and as of right now being led by FT Bunny.
So both junglers taking the standard refillable pot, basic stuff for tank junglers here. You've seen a lot of tank junglers so far in this series, haven't you? In these series of games.
Yeah. So far, a lot of tank junglers. Although we saw Nocturne pick yesterday, wasn't a fan favorite for me personally, and it didn't do what he thought he was going to do with Nocturne. Currently in this meta, that was a bad pick. And then he kind of also, next game, picked a Hecarim, who isn't really super tanky unless fed. And then we just saw both picks of J4 yesterday, J4 again today. So it looks like we need to find a team who can stop this J4. And I think we're going to see that with Sejuani.
So Brolian, currently sitting at around the edge, is about to get wedged in by two damage dealers. Never mind, they do the call off. Neither side is going to attempt to get some damage on the Renekton. Is a bit surprising. I expected Malzahar to probably get some quick damage in. Singe could have probably outran the Renekton, get some quick damage. Chose not to do it, though. Interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good idea to invade with a Morgana sitting around their blue. That Morgana can definitely be a early game changer if you try and invade. So that was a smart move by playing it safe there.
Brilliant is going to have some problems. dealing with the very beginning. However, I think that's when Singe is really dominant, is where he can just get some good poison mists. But it seems like he's using an awful lot, and he's already taking some damage as well. That is actually not going to be pretty good if Lord continues to take some free damage by Renekton like that.
And like I said, early game, I really don't see Singed winning the early game if played properly. However, if he doesn't feed, he definitely will be something that they're going to have to learn how to deal with late game.
Already likes that his prey is already quite low. Gets the stun to happen. The Lord is about to realize how powerful the Renekton early game can be. And Lord goes down so quickly that I think Lord was completely thrown off balance. Brilliant. Great job with the first blood.
Very nice for Renekton grabbing that first blood. Like I had thought, you kind of have to play passive with Singed early game against the Renekton.
Certainly learned that the hard way, but uses the DP to come right back into the lane quickly. So that means no plays at bot side, no TP plays at bot side at this stage here, but Brilliant still has the upper hand. I don't know if there's going to be a play at bot side with an Ashe and Morgana on the other end, but you never know, especially when you have Renekton. You can kind of do a lot with him. But speaking of a lot, it looks like Brilliant's about to once again grab another kill against Lord. No way is it that easy.
Yep. We see Sejuani in the jungle.
Is being assaulted so far by the Sejuani, but the damage is just not coming through fast enough. And now Malzahar keeps his ignite. Oh, Bunny! Oh, misreads where Nutting was going and ends up missing his whole combo. Oh boy, that is an unfortunate performance so far.
And there comes the dive.
Yep, but Nutting doesn't have the damage or mana for this, so it looks like Jarvan's engage is going to be immediately backed off right away. Unfortunate performance so far from the wine mixers.
Yeah, that's a good thing for Supernova to push up. Like I said, Malzahar is definitely going to be aggressive and was doing that up until that point. And now that last play just allowed Orianna to get the farm she needed, and looks like it's already turning back in Malzahar's favor off the wave push.
Well, right away, Renekton already finishing his Tiamat right here, right now at the 4-minute mark. That's how you know you got yourself a big lead right away. Is going to try to push that advantage as well, trying to shove Singe so far back under his own tower that eventually when it's level 6, he should probably make a big engage. Wookieheart is already using a ton of mana trying to prevent damage from happening to Ashe, but most of the damage is physical. Speaking of that, it looks like Jarvan is going to immediately make the engage. Kira is trying to hold him off here. The slow has hit the Caitlyn, but Stinny is really low, gets one more auto before finally walking away from that. Wookie, on the other hand, takes a couple of traps and drops a W in retaliation, but does not manage to make that work out well for him. Brilliant is doing some big damage, but Nutting is going to also go down as he completely misreads the situation. Bunny is clearly very tanky and really aware. Oh, Brilliant once again makes it look so easy. Takes Lord out of the match once again.
That's a very strong, good start for Supernova.
Yeah, Lord is just consistently walking right into that alligator, and every single time you step right in front of an alligator, they snap right at you. They don't even let you have a second to breathe.
I'd be very surprised if we see Lord Sir pick Singe next match.
Yeah, I see it's definitely switching from that. I also see Lord Sir Pounce probably considering in this match maybe getting himself a... I hope he's going to get himself maybe a ZZ Rot portal. Maybe some way to make himself a little faster when the Renekton does get the movement speed necessary. But who knows, honestly, who knows? Meanwhile, Renekton is walking into a bush. He's about ready to jump the J4. Here we go, camera. It's already a level 3 versus a level 6. Stinny is immediately going to get out of that situation here. Oh, Brilliant almost had another kill on Stinny, but he just did not place that down correctly. Ooh, the tower damage is going to hurt Knight real bad. The spell immunity blocks out any CC that was in retaliation by Boost and Kira, but neither side is able to make the play here. That bot lane is a very safe bot lane right now.
I like the pressure they're putting on J4 right now. He's getting away, so they're not really picking up any kills, which is good for Stenny. Good on him for being able to play J4 in that respect, but he's really starting to fall behind having that pressure, sitting only at, what is he, level 5, while the rest of his team is or he's sitting at level 3 while the rest of his team is 6 and 5.
Meanwhile, in that, there actually seems to be a lack of communication going on between the Singe and the J4, but finally, it's engage time now. It looks like the CC has landed pretty nicely, but can it be good enough to defeat this massive level 6 opponent? Brilliant is tanking through the mist. He actually walks right through it, and now actually has only barely any amount of health left. Stinny's going to try one more play at it. He gets bursted. Not only does he get bursted, but so does Brilliant grab Singed along with it. That plan has 100% backfired against him. 100%.
Now, you have to wonder if it was a smart move for them to try to kite away from him. I think it might have worked in their benefit if they gave the J4 kill an effort to get the kill for Singed, instead of just giving up 2 kills is what they finally did.
Just honestly, mistake to mistake to mistake here so far for Lord Sir Pounce, who just consistently walks right into this Renekton, assuming damage is about to happen when damage is not happening. And in fact, it looks like with his big advantage, he's going to try to get himself so much extra early pressure by grabbing a Ravenous Hydra. That's going to be some very massive amount of damage and lifesteal from this Renekton. The stun has landed. Oh my goodness, it looks like half of his health bar is already gone, as Pounce is nowhere near the amount of items he needs to survive against this massive opponent. I've seen some raid games that go like this, but I haven't seen it go this one-sided so far.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll pick up a few more kills. I'd be surprised if they completely got skunked in game 1.
Well, Knighted is going to fight against Nucking, as it will be a skirmish that ends rather briefly, actually. Neither side was able to take out the other despite the damage. Nucking is really holding on to that Ignite, by the way. Here comes Sejuani again. The CC has landed, and Nutting goes down yet again with some easy CC. While
Knighted One did a very good job of doing his role and getting to level 6 with Sejuani really quick, and then trying to be aggressive and making plays happen, especially Sejuani knowing that she's out-leveling J4, being level 5 right now. Orianna doesn't see J4. J4 has no confidence. He backs off. He respects that.
As he should. I don't think J4 can really survive with the items he's got currently. He's going for physical damage. I feel like that's kind of a bad option considering how one side of the affair has gone so far. Okay, the ult goes a little wide here, but it looks like Singed and J4 are now wedged in between 3 other champions in the top side right now, as Malzahar is on his way. He can possibly get a kill on the Renekton if certain events go a certain way. Ult goes off by Kira to get these guys to back off here, but it looks as if... Okay, good block by Wookiee, and it looks like Jaguar is going to be auto-attacked to death. The Q lands, and it's going to be a down target. Meanwhile, fight topside is still going. Wookiee tries to get revenge for his fallen comrade and only dies along with them. And it looks like finally we're going to get to the topside here after that massive skirmish going on at bot. Alt does manage to get him a kill, and it's going to be Nutting that grabs himself one more kill necessary. He gets the double, and the 2 minion auto attacks does come through.
Very nice play from bot. However, what was Morgana thinking? After your ADC dies, you're low on health. They have both up. They're both about 50% or more health. There's no reason you should stay and just try to do insignificant amount of damage. You're not going to do anything. I think she should have backed off and respected the authority that they're imprinting on bot lane.
Agreed 100%. That's definitely a call that I bet Wookie really regrets already. Anyway, let's see what we go back out to the top side here. Right now, let's take a look at that monstrous Renekton. He's got to be way out in front right now in money. And yes, he is at a whopping 5,000 money right now. Gold, I should say, actually, a little bit more accurate. 5,000 gold over the Singe, who's now slowly approaching 3,000. So it's a little over a 2,000 lead already for this Renekton at 12 minutes.
Which surprisingly, well, yeah, that's about right. So I'm seeing Malzahar do a lot more, being a lot more aggressive now that he's picked up those 2 kills. He has a little bit more to help put that damage and pressure on Orianna, and that's what we're seeing in mid lane right now.
Stinny wants to make that engage happen, but is waiting very patiently for something. Knighted has been spotted now. Jarvan knows exactly where Knighted is, and Knighted's coming around the flank. It's going to be a big fight between the 2 mid laners and junglers, but at the bot side, the Q goes wide, and oh, Jaguar gets pushed back by the Janna ult, but will end up coming out on top through the pure damage. Meanwhile, a fight is happening in the mid lane here. It's going to be Orianna going down, while Katarina squad does come out. Never mind, they do not come out on top. I thought it was going to be a clean double kill in the favor of Katarina Wine Mixers, but they do end up dying, and it's going to be 3 members of Supernova going down here. So a bit of a swing so far, as Sir Pounce is already in the mid lane here, could be making a dive attempt against Brilliant. Silence has missed, and it looks like Malzahar is currently roaming around waiting for Brilliant to misplay. It looks like he will not misplay. He goes and takes out the J4 quickly, and neither does the top or the mid want to get some kill revengeance for Stinny.
Wow. Seeing some very good solo plays from this Renekton. And I'm really liking Wine Mixers and what they're doing. They're coming back. They're playing as a team. They're rotating properly. They're picking people like Orianna and Sejuani, who are completely split at the beginning of that encounter and completely out of position, and they turned on the squishy person and came up with the kill, and that was a very good play from Wine Mixers.
I am honestly extremely surprised that Singe did not just immediately jump the Renekton. That Renekton had lifesteal, true, but does not have enough ways to survive against both a Malzahar and a Singe. I think Singe kind of misread how much damage he does from his abilities. He is going AP right now, so I'm actually really shocked that he decided to do that. I feel like Malzahar could have easily just pressed E, hit the W while Renekton was fighting, and then just made a kill happen. But that didn't happen. Okay, Bunny's going to have to feel the burn here, and Nutting grabs a quick kill. Janna is silenced. The damage onto Kira is going to be enough to get the kill here. The tick damage is also going to travel. It's a triple kill for Malzahar, who is unfortunately going to finally die to Knighting, and Knighted has gone down as well. Wow, Malzahar has just went from a whopping total of 0 kills to 7 kills in 15 minutes.
That is very, very good plays by the Wine Mixers. It's just like they were a little bit weak from what we've seen in the beginning and solo lanes. Now they're realizing what they have to do. They have to look for those picks, those plays where people are out of position. Orianna was out of position. Her team was trying to come up, and that's what Orianna thought she was going to do.
Has sighted some prey here. Does actually steal it right from J4's hands, and goes on the rampage trying to chase down the 2 bot laners. Brilliant has realized that he was a way stronger opponent and easily scrapes up that one right from Stinny's hands, who did not have smite.
Such an exciting game for game 1.
That's the superior vision calling so far by Katarina Wine Mixers. As you can take a look at the map right now, there is more wards out there by the Supernova crew than there are the Katarina Wine Mixers, and it's starting to show why Renekton used the TP in that situation in the first place.
Supernova, they really need to make something happen here mid with that Singe just getting a free tower up top, rotating down. He's already on the tier 2 tower, and they're all floating mid. I don't know. They should be aware that he's there. There's clearly vision on him, but they need to make a play, or they need to rotate right now, and I'm not sure why no one's rotating to answer to that Singe.
Well, it seems like they don't seem to mind Singe's play currently. Orianna is appearing to be the one that's sent, but I don't know if Orianna can really get Pounce off. Let's see. Wow. Oh, never mind. Wow. Lord is actually going to die so easily. Bunny barely even used his abilities to kill him. What in the world was that? Well, there you have it. The 8-piece Singed has actually seems to have backfired against Lord Sir Pounce, as his squishiness is quite blatant, as Bunny is able to cut through him like butter.
Looks like he's just trying to build a little bit of hybrid AP with some HP, and I think it behooves him to attempt or try to build a little bit tanky. We need to see a lot more HP coming out of him so he can initiate team fights and leave a lot of the kills to the rest of his damage dealing teammates like Malzahar and Ashe. Malzahar doing very well with 7-3, 124 CS, beating out Orianna at 90 CS, who is 4-3. But don't make that sound like Orianna's not doing well at all. She is still doing very well.
With the 4-3-2 for FT Bunny, Malzahar's just a real tough opponent to make any kills, especially with that spell shield. It can be very difficult to read, to make some engages with.
See Singe rotating to mid.
Fired off here, as it looks like all the Supernovas are ready to make the siege at mid lane. Stinny uses the ultimate, but is going to get punished heavily for it and gets bursted really quickly. Janna gets caught, and it looks to be the end of him as Jaguar gets the quick kill. Bunny is going to be thrown back into the middle of the fight, and the tank has gone down here. And
very nice.
My gosh,
very nice,
brilliant
game changer.
Rampaged his way through, but it's Jaguar who appears to get the last laugh here, is what I would have said. Oh, wait a minute, Bunny's going to go down if he lets himself get hit by another volley.
Well,
all right, well, as it stands right now, it is the Supernovas coming out on top with 3 people going down for the 3v4 situation, and it's 4 members down for Katarina Wine Mixers after that fight, and I feel like it's probably because Stinny didn't go for tank right away.
If we were able to look at that replay, I think J4 initiated a little too soon. His team wasn't in position. He needed another second or two before he really took off on his ult. He got punished for it, but they made a comeback. They put out their damage. Wine Mixers were putting pressure. They were picking up kills, and then oh my God, what a perfect ult from Orianna to change that whole entire team fight. And I thought that was a awesome team fight. Very well done from both teams.
Does catch out the Janna for as long as he could, but unfortunately Stinny was not in position to help with the CC, and Renekton being there, it's just going to make sure that there's 0 chance of Stinny getting a playoff. But it looks like Knighted, goes for the flash Q, and it just only misses by the slimmest of margins. Stinny will end up living, as it looked like he was going to get caught for sure there.
Singe looking to backdoor.
Yep, is on the flank here. Is he going to make the engage? They're kind of sitting around, waiting around for either side to go ahead and pull the trigger. I think Katarina Wine Mixers does need some sort of method of engage, which is why it looks like the Singed is going for the Righteous Glory. So I think that's a good option. But anyway, Knighted used the ultimate onto Lord. He goes down so fast. Ults land by Orianna. It's going to be, Caitlyn gets caught in that suppression. Gets caught in that ult stun. And suppression nutting use it onto the Renekton with a GA at this point. I think it might have been a bad call. Can he silence him? No! Knighted will survive and actually summons the Grand Beast Herald. Brilliant with his GA. I think he can make some big risks here and not really get punished for it, since there's only 2 remaining members of Katarina Wine Mixers alive. They are really low, though, so I don't expect Supernova to make the play. They're beginning to back off here.
And the Rift Herald wasn't very a good call on the Rift Herald. I think they were trying to get that little bit of health left. It was definitely a risky call with the wave being out like it was, and Malzahar and Ashe being up. What we're also seeing is Renekton doing a very good job at making sure that Malzahar stays out of the fight. Malzahar trying to make an impact in the fight early in the fight, not able to do so because Renekton is putting that pressure on, and I see really good team fights here.
So what I also see is a bit of I see a lot of confusion here so far from Katarina Wine Mixers. I feel like they don't exactly know how most of their champions work at some of these points. Okay, hear me out on this one before I sound a little too crazy. Anyway, it looks like Lord Sir Pounce is going to end up getting CC locked down and eventually killed here. But let me say this real quick. We have Singed with a Rylai's. We have Malzahar with the Rylai's. And we have Ashe with a slow from the auto attack passive. Why is there that many slows? Why do you need that many slows?
I think they're all trying to play as if they were playing in solo queue. This is a lack of communication from both teams.
Oh, it was a really good attempt by the Jarvan, but unfortunately it was well predicted by Knighted, confirmed on the smite, and it looks like Singed will not be the only one going to see the black screen.
Going back to before the Baron play, I think what they're trying to do is they're all playing like if they were in solo queue. They're not very they're learning. They should learn from this game that they need to communicate together on how they're building, how they're going to approach different team fights, how they need to approach team fights. I mean, there's a lot to team fights to be good at this game.
I just feel like you don't need Singe to have a slow, Malzahar to have a slow, and Ashe to have a slow. If you're going to do a comp like this, I feel as if you kind of need to have more burst damage, like a Luden's Echo, maybe even a Rabadon's Death Cap, and so, or even a Liandry's Torment, like early, would be really good for all of those champions. But I feel like getting this many slows is only going to sabotage your damage output, and is going to lead you to, yeah, you can slow them down and kite them all you want, but if you can't kill them, then what's the point? And they're eventually going to catch you because they have enough dashes.
And at this point, it's pretty easy to just build MR. You build MR and you pretty much negate Singed, Malzahar, Morgana. J4 is not doing anything but feeding for the team for the most part.
Bunny claims Singed yet again, and this will be a 2-9 for Lord Sir Pounce. Anyway, ults go awry here as they're flying all over the place. Stinny didn't even get a chance to place his ult down. Gonna be a bit of a mistake on his part for not trying to put it down earlier. Ashe, barely makes it. And Nutting is gonna try one last ditch effort to try to get Knighted to be killed here. His focus on tank seems to be his greatest kryptonite right now. And Jaguar goes down here, and Nutting and along with Morgana all fall in the attempt to defend that tower. The thing is, and there's the last auto attack necessary, and there we go. Down goes another one. The Katarina Wine Mixers seem to be almost completely silent in their chats, as if the damage is finally coming through for Stinny, but he does not get the kill here. Pounce tries to get one more tick and does get the tick necessary to take out this very tanky Sejuani. A little bit of memes going on to the chat right now. Okay, Bunny is a decent mid.
From both sides, I thought they did very well early game. I think what happened and what we saw was the macro game. Everybody did very well in the micro, but macro, I'm really going to have to give it over to Supernova. They move very well.
Yeah, they almost look coordinated. They almost look like they're a team. Where Katarina Wine Mixers almost look like they're kind of just picked up today and just asked to play a game.
Yeah, it looks like FC Bunny's doing a good job shot calling as far as telling them where they need to be, the positioning, when to go in, how to go in. Whereas I'm Knucking Futz, he's trying to rustle it up and make plays happen, but it just seems like they're not coordinated properly,
Mm-hmm.
all going in at different times.
Yep, it's like, I've got this play, and then here's you getting baited. That's kind of the story for Katarina Wine
Wow.
Mixers. They just consistently are like, I gotta play, and then the other guy follows up, and then that person dies.
Wow. Deleted.
Yep. And here comes another deletion here. Renekton.
Boom!
Boom! The Caitlyn actually takes the kill after all. Poor Renekton using all that effort. Anyway, at this stage, I could see the situation coming to a close here, and Katarina Wine Mixers will probably put up one last ditch effort to try to hold off the line. But I feel like this is just about it. I think the game should be just about over here, as we're waiting to see the last ditch effort
Again,
here. Jarvan once
premature...
again immediately dies, and Singe just unable to follow up here. And that's one of the big problems I think Katarina Wine Mixers had, really. They just didn't seem to have any good coordination in this match.
Yeah, and again, time and time out again.
To be fair, Supernova actually looked insanely coordinated, and they actually did so well of a job on the engage that any opportunity that Supernova was going to present always had a punishment for it. And that's why I think Supernova just did a really good job in this match.
Yeah, and time and time again, we saw that J4, he dove in at the wrong time several different times, causing his death. He finished the game at 0, 8, and 10. The 10 was nice for a couple of assists in the team fights they had, but again, they really need, if they're going to go with a J4 pick like that or an initiator, they really need to have that timed right. And that's where I'm Knucking Futz as a captain needs to step in and say, listen, don't dive until I tell you to dive. We're all not ready. He dove there at the end. They had a chance to kind of bring it back and really didn't. But again, good job from both teams. So Katarina Wine Mixers made a little comeback there.
Let's go ahead and take a look at damage as well as take a look at vision. Wow, 21 wards out of the 20-minute game, out of the 28-minute game here. Not super great or anything, but just double the amount of ward coverage than Morgana did this game. A mere 11 wards by a support is just absolutely nowhere near enough. And just a very below average ward coverage here from the Katarina Wine Mixers. But I do like that Jarvan really picked up the pace on the ward coverage. Actually managed to outward the opposing jungler by 3 wards. Very good job on his part. Very impressed. I think if we're going to talk about MVP here, we have a bit of a coin flip, I'd say, between Boost Your Moment and Brilliant Swole. But to be fair, Brilliant Swole really took over the game because of because of like how well he did in the lane and made the engages. He stole a Drake from the jungler right in front of him and then killed him. That's awesome. That's like, that is confidence. That is just, I know you don't have a smite, and I'm going to kill you after I take this Drake. Not even going to kill you before, I'm going to kill you after. And that's something that is MVP worthy.
Yep, and you saw a lot of Renekton just choking out and helping. That's typically the other jungler's responsibility is to bleed out or what's the term called when you're choking out the other jungler by not allowing them farm. But Renekton did a really good job of cleaning up J4's farm on the top end and not allowing him to farm it out and catch up.
Mm-hmm. And I guess from what I'm looking at here, it turns out the lethality J4 build actually didn't seem to give him more damage. It turns out Sejuani, the full tanks build, actually managed to out-damage the lethality, the damage that Stinny was trying to go for here. So that's unfortunate, really. Very unfortunate. Let's see what we can do for the next game here. By the way, Sonic, I know you waiting in the wings for me, man. I know you're ready to start casting here, so come on into the lobby, man. Let's go ahead and get you introduced for the public. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and get everything back in order here and get everything prepped and ready. I'll go ahead and give myself a bathroom break so I can go ahead and get myself ready to go. But until then, here you go. Let's go ahead and get you in here.
That's right, boy.
Well, Sonic, I'm glad you made it, man, because it looks like you're tagged in for casting duty.
Dun, 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 dun. Welcome, Sonic.
Just to let y'all know, if there's still people watching the stream, sorry I missed the first game. Didn't want Army to do it, but retarded coaches. Just saying. Just had to let y'all know.
Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Had a lot of fun casting the first game and watching it. I'm hoping for a little bit better, a less lopsided game this next game. I think they can do that if they do two things. They have to do two things to improve, and we're talking about Katarina wine mixers on this side. Is one, don't pick Singed. You weren't able to do what you thought you were able to do, and Singed is no longer a good pick. And two is learn how to engage properly. They need to really synergize as a team in team fights. Their team fighting was kind of all out of position, engages at the wrong time, where we saw Supernova, who was very tight and very on point with when and how they attacked in team fights. And that's really what caused them to lose is for the wine mixer side.
So my final thoughts here, and then I'll be done casting for the time being, because I would expect this to either be a two-game continuation if Katarina Wine Mixers does manage to get themselves ready to go by the next game. If not, then this could be the final game here, and it is likely to happen, so we'll find out. You guys will find out the old-fashioned way, while I will be in the background watching. So my final words here are going to be, I would like Katarina Wine Mixers to just have communication. Have a way to talk to each other. Try to get each other's word out there. Try to say something. Try to act something. Try to make things happen through vocality. It is extremely valuable. Extremely 100% important to have communication. If you guys have communication, everything becomes a lot easier to make decisions and plays. You just have to say words to each other. You have to speak to each other. You have to talk. You can make things happen. You can make plays happen. Just say words. Which I'm hoping you two also will be able to do as well. Anyway.
What?
Hello, you're looking at Rivington the Fourth over here.
Oh.
Remington the Fourth. Anywho, I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. Bye, guys. Good luck with your situation here. I will be in the background. See ya.
Thank you, Army. I'm going to have to stamp you with a have faith, man. It looks like he lost it. No. It looks like he was losing a little bit of faith when it came to wine mixers. However, I'm just going to say have faith.
Is there a reason why I can't join? Like, I'm on spectator, but saying my name is right there. Do you see that? Is that a visual glitch?
I see it. I see your name.
In spectator?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what the? Okay, I don't know why my name's still on the screen. So on team 2.
So, how much of game 1 did you get to watch?
I got to see basically almost all of it.
Basically, almost all of it.
I missed like the first 10 minutes. I definitely seen that Malzahar got super fed, and I totally agree with Army. Whenever instead of going Rallies Crystal, if he would have gone Leandries, I mean, if he would have just landed Silence, that alone would have been about an extra 100 to 200 damage onto the carries of Supernova.
It didn't look like they had their focus in the right direction, and Renekton did a very good job of trying to keep Malzahar out of the fight due to Malzahar not being able to do enough significant damage quickly on Renekton, so that was a very good play by Renekton, putting pressure on Malzahar, not allowing him in for the easy ult and kill, and we'll see how this plays out in the next one. I think just like Army had said, really what they need to focus on is communication right now. If they really want to come away with this W and win the series best of 3, they really need to focus on communication. They all seem to be very good individual players. I think J4 might have had a little bit trigger happy there, pulling the trigger too soon. But I think if they communicate properly with him, he needs to take a step back, play smart, play safe, make moves when they're available, play on their inability to be in position and things like that, or being out of position.
Yeah, I do feel like the Singe, though, since he was a lot further behind in the Renekton, instead of going with Rally's Crystals as second item, I feel like if he would have gone with a second tank item to be a better front line for the team, since J4 was very far behind and couldn't really do much, could have kept him alive longer in team fights to protect the carries.
Yeah.
Because his damage just wasn't adding up onto the Renekton quick enough, because the Renekton, even with like no health items, he was able to just straight up lifesteal through the damage of the Singed, even though it's constant poison.
Yeah, and I don't think, and in Singe, his defense, he was the first pick for top, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was the first pick for top, and Renekton had the ability to counter him, so maybe out of luck we'll see the opposite here, where top lane and Lord Sir may be able to counter, I believe, who was it, Knighted? No, not Knighted, I'm sorry, that was the jungle.
I can't see his name because my name's
Rolling Soul.
I can't tell you.
Oh. And let's see Lord Sir Pounce up for the first ban. Let's see what they go.
I'm pretty sure the first ban is going to be Renekton. I'm pretty sure they're not going to allow Supernova to have the Renekton again.
And on the back end,
I lied. Or did I get the teams mixed up?
and that's the second ban. On the left we have wine mixers. We have the wine mixers on the left and Supernova on the right. And again, we see two of the same bands from the previous game, Jace and a Cho'Gath. It looks like both very good bands. Cho'Gath being one of those very annoying champs to play against when he gets fed, and when he's really, really big in team fights, really annoying when you're trying to click on people and they stand in the middle of them, so it makes it harder for you to click on as a tactic as well.
And it's almost infinite health scaling. You can, just through Cho'Gath alone through the jungle, you can end up, if the game would go on long enough, 12 to 13,000 health. So that alone would take you forever to just kill him.
Absolutely. Looking for another LeBlanc ban. Good ban. Looks like we have FT and News noticing it looks like Royal Roy is substituting in for FT Bunny. Bunny did a very good job playing mid with Orianna last game, but it looks like he's taking a step out, and Royal Roy is coming in. That brings me to my next question. Who is shot calling for them on their side? Very interesting.
If it's the new guy, I would probably say it's not. Because, I mean, he's new and I've never seen him before. I don't know if he's just been a sub from the beginning or if he's a pickup off of after, like, the first week or so. If they would have a shot caller, it would most likely be the support role after that, because the support role, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to shot call.
Lord Sir picking Shin to start out, which is a very good team fighting pick, a farming pick. We'll see how his skills go up in top lane against the Darius. Which, wow, don't let Darius grab you and you'll be alright.
Yeah, in that matchup, I do play Darius myself, so Darius should be able to out-damage the Shin very early on, just through his passive alone at level 1. If Shin would try to, Darius, I mean, could just straight up flat out kill him at level 1 if he wanted to.
And so Shin will be playing back into his turret, allowing the capability of a good early game gank on Darius. If their jungle makes a play in that direction, I think that will set up, because you have to know that Darius is going to push in and be aggressive because he can be early game.
And it looks like he's only going to have flash, so he's only going to have one escape after the first flash, so he is very easy gankable target. He has no escapes besides Flash.
I like the Sejuani pick. Now the Wine Mixers pick Sejuani as their tanking and very good with CC and slows. So that'll be a good pick for the Wine Mixers. They pick they pick Malzahar again. I think they did well with Malzahar. I really think Nucking did a good job with Malzahar. Again, they just need to play around Malzahar or play around whoever is their damage dealers who are fed. In that case was Malzahar last game.
And they came out with a Karma ban as the first ban for Supernova. Wonder what
she obviously can be a really pokey and annoying champ. She can put a lot of very good, effective lane pressure. And if you just want to be able to put lane pressure, you want to take away people like Karma and people like Tom to be able to put that lane pressure. So I'd be looking to see Supernova really trying to be more aggressive, or being extremely aggressive, not more aggressive, early game.
It looks like Wine Mixers might go for a full-on late-game carry comp with 3 tanks and 2 hyper carries in the B, but maybe not, because they both banned Trist and Twitch now, so not very many tier 1 hyper carries left.
Yep. Very good picks, or very good bans. Xayah, now I know a lot of pros in the LCS and a lot of people in general have been picking Xayah. She's very good early, very good mid-game. I don't think she's going to scale very well against a Vayne late game.
No, but her early game is way better than the Vayne's early game, so she can definitely shove Vayne out of lane very easily. It all depends on the support picks
and it
as well.
Depends on how Hoo-Ha ends up playing Vayne. I think in this case, playing back, farming up, letting it get to mid-game before you start going, balls deep into fights, and allowing Xayah to get fed. I think if you allow Xayah and try to deny her little farm and try to push it into mid to late game, that's where Vayne's going to start excelling and Xayah's going to start to be pushed out of the picture.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as it starts to get to late game, the tanks on the side of Supernova it's just not even going to matter at that point. If Vayne can position well and have her tanks in front of her at all times, shred through everyone on that team, including the tanks.
And it looks like both team compositions are very interesting. We have 2 tanks on each side. We got Singe and Sejuani against the Darius, and potentially a Warwick, depending on how he builds. I would imagine he's going to probably build more hybrids with a little bit on the tanky side, is what I'd go against their composition, but we'll see. Ziggs and Malzahar, that's going to be a very good battle in mid. And like we had said, we have 2 healers in the bot lane supporting Xayah and Vayne, so that should be very interesting as well.
Yeah, I'm very interesting Soraka pick, in my opinion, because Soraka is not very seen in the meta very much, and paired with the Vayne, I don't know how well that lane could end out, because they just have no lane pressure against the Xayah and a Nami. Like, the total lane pressure on Supernova's side is insane right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if Soraka was the best pick for a Vayne to make plays happen. I think if they would have had someone like a Thresh or a Blitz for really draw them in, because Xayah's going to be looking to put pressure early, and you could have negated that had you had someone like Blitz or Thresh to pull them into your tower and really shut them down early when Xayah needs to excel early game.
I feel Leona would be the best pick, because I have played Vayne quite a bit, and every time I played with Leona, the amount of CC that Leona does to one person allows Vayne to get at least 2 procs of her passive off if the Vayne is positioned well as soon as they go in. And then the support just can't really save the ADC at that point with the true damage that comes through Vayne's not passive but W.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. However, I don't see Leona right now being a big role early game. I totally agree with you, kind of creeping into mid game and definitely late game. Leona is, might as well not even attack her if she's hasn't fed anybody. But she early game is why I think maybe Leona wouldn't have been the best pick, but again, they didn't pick Leona. So anyways, I'm curious to see how bot lane plays out most of all.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this bot lane fight, because it's one super hard push lane against one super hard wait to mid to late game lane.
Mm-hmm.
I also would like to see this top lane. I want to see if this Shin can handle the Darius early on. If he can, then Shin overall, if he stays even in farm and doesn't die at all, Darius honestly isn't going to be worth anything really unless he gets a kill or two in through a TP or into another lane if he roams to mid, or if Wine Mixer's jungler tries to invade and he roams to help the other jungler.
Mm-hmm. I really think the best thing that Wine Mixers can do against the Shin and Darius top would be to put a lot of pressure on Darius with ganks. See what you can do. However, Sejuani is not. I think she's one of those champ. Most people decide to hit 6 before they go balls deep in ganking, but we'll see. And I think they need to keep that pressure on Darius, keep him pushed back, see if you can get those early ganks, allow Shin to get fed a little bit, build up, farm up, be a huge role in team fights instead of being the guy who fed, as we saw with Singe last time. Singe didn't make a huge impact because he was so far behind early against Renekton. So I think we know how Boreal and Swole will play, and I think aggressive is the name for that one. So I think they really need to stop that aggressive play and come off with a gank or two top lane.
Yeah, and Sejuani, if they're going to gank her, immediately, as soon as she hits level 3, she should go gank that lane, because that E works so well with any auto-based, non-ranged auto-based top laner, and with Shin with the taunt, plus the E and a knockup from the Sejuani, that's just too much CC for Darius to try to handle to get away. He should die if they land all their skill shots correctly with the CC chain.
Last thing we want to see from Wine Mixer side is that they want to see is a fed Darius, that's for sure. I wonder how much these teams actually communication and setting up the composition of their team. Again, Singed last game made me think that he kind of went off on his own and did that. I don't know. Maybe Lord Sir has a history of being a dominant Singed and just got a bad counter pick that game. You never know. However, that pick alone, in my opinion, usually somebody kind of is always like, oh, watch this. I own with him. Just trust me, blah, blah, blah. And everybody else is like, I don't know.
Can you repeat what you said? Because I lagged there for a second. Didn't hear a word you just said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought I DC'd for a second there because my screen just went completely black for about 40 seconds.
Oh, no problem. Just talking about the communication of both of the teams. But
okay.
Moving on, we're getting started. Here we go. Both teams, we have Supernova, who is 1-1 in this league, and week 2, day 3. And we have Katarina Wine Mixers, who I believe are 0-1 in the league, looking to make a difference and tie that up and go 1-1. They're going to need to come back and win game 2 and 3 to make that happen. Losing game 1, Wine Mixers need to focus a little bit on their communication and really focus on their team fighting and their macro game. They did very well early. Now it's just time to clean it up and make sure their macro game is on point.
Yeah, with the team comp Wine Mixers has, they have very good pick potential against the Supernova. If they can catch one person out, that person is most likely going to die in an instant.
And there we go. Shin starting off with the shield, Doran's shield, as we look at Darius starting off with Doran's blade, being aggressive. Kind of knew that was going to happen. And it looks like over here, Shin's walking up to a Darius hidden.
And he needs to run away immediately.
Ooh, just missing that Q.
Just with 4 autos, that extra bleed damage is probably going to be about an extra 100 damage. So Shin's already going to land at like full health. Or half health. So it looks like it's just standard for jungle starts. Just red buff, blue buff. With bot lane help.
Again, watching top, I'm really impressed with Brillion Swole's play. He's very aggressive. He knows how to be aggressive. The biggest thing in lower tier elos is people not knowing how to properly be aggressive, and that's what usually ends up in people's deaths. And holy smokes, the pressure he's already putting on Shen.
That level 1 pressure through the passive is insane against the auto-based melee.
And we have a pause. Give us a second, folks, as we figure out what's going on with the pause.
Do you have the camera?
Anybody have an update on the pause for the managers?
All I see is just... Oh, it looks like someone had just left the game. Oh, never mind.
Nope. And we're back. I'm not sure what happened on that pause. We'll get information and let everybody know. However, we're back and playing. Early Shin back. Not looking good for Shin.
Nope. Level 1 back. Already using TP at 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the game. Already Darius has a TP advantage in the lane, so I wouldn't be surprised if I see a TP bot lane some point in the game. I'm surprised is if you look at the bot lane, I mean, Vayne and Soraka are actually shoving the lane.
Looks like we got early game pressure from Ziggs on Malzahar mid lane.
Is there something wrong with Vayne? Vayne's just losing all this experience standing back there.
I'm not sure. Sometimes players might be tilting. Sometimes players might also have ping issues. I'm not seeing anything in the logs that show that they are having ping issues. However, in a tournament like this or a season like games like this, we're not playing on a LAN like LCS. We're playing over the internet, so sometimes players will have those ping issues. And it looks like we have an early easy drag from Warwick.
Oh yeah,
one of those champs who can do that.
Easy
much
dragon.
Like Udyr.
Now the one thing I'm noticing mid lane is that the mid laner for Wine Mixers is spamming his abilities constantly, and in my opinion against the Ziggs, that is just like one of the worst things you can do, because Ziggs has long range harass, and if you just constantly spam your mana, if he wants to go all in on you, what are you going to do when you have no mana to defend yourself with?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. I think he's using his mana more or less just for farming.
Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I don't think that's very smart early, especially with Ziggs putting that much pressure on you, but it looks like he's returning the pressure.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that.
And I'm not sure what's going on with Vayne. Maybe Vayne might be having some technical difficulties again. I'm wondering if that has a ping issue. I sure hope not. It's not an attitude type thing.
I think it's a ping issue, because the Vayne has just been walking back and forth in like the same area.
Yeah. That's unfortunate for
it looks like there's a game top.
Mixers.
Warwick's going in. He threw down the E. He's about to get... Shin got feared back.
There we go.
Shin, one of those.
And we got a pause. I'm pretty sure that has to do with Vayne's ping issues, everybody. So please be patient, and thank you for those being patient. We're waiting on seeing if Vayne can maybe restart and fix these ping issues so we can get a really good game going on here and not one lopsided on bot lane.
Looks like Malzahar said something in the chat. So we basically have no so ADC has basically no internet. We can't read because the stuff's in the way. We can 4v5.
So we're gonna leave that to our officials. So ADC was basically no internet. We were asking if we want to restart or if we can just go forward in a 4v5, which would be very unfortunate for Wine Mixers. Our officials will get back to us as quickly as we can, letting us know the rules and regulations on that and what we can and can't do going forward. Thank you again, everybody, for your patience and staying tuned with us. We're trying to get everything back on track here so we can get a good, clean Game 2 between Katarina Wine Mixers and Supernova.
Now, if you look at the mini map while we're on a pause, look at where Sejuani is positioned and look at where Shin is positioned. He's at the tower. Shin had just used all of his abilities to escape, so I don't know what Sejuani is exactly doing right now. If she was coming up there for a gank, it's already too late, so she should just go back into her jungle and start farming and wait for the Darius to push into the lane. Then they should go for the gank.
Yeah, she needs to pick up that Krog and just kind of rotate in jungle. It looks like she has a lot of jungle clear. She's going up there to defend. But at this point, I think it's in her best interest to kind of back off and knowing that Shin is safe and float in the area. I would say float in the area to see if they're going to put pressure on top lane. If Warwick goes back to farming, then obviously Sejuani should do the same.
Yeah, and there's no ward coverage for the side of Supernova either, so Sejuani would basically be walking up there without even Darius probably wouldn't know, but unless he just has wonderful spidey senses and just knows what Sejuani is all time.
Mm-hmm. Looks like the top side, blue side for blue jungle for the blue team is warded fairly well in the river. It looks like red is kind of warding to be aggressive as well. They have a ward going on in river and ward and try.
I mean, if you look just alone, I mean, I only see 3 wards on the map for both
red
teams and for blue.
Well, I see 4. There's 3 in the river, and then there's 1 in right by blue for the 4, and then there's 3.
The other one I think is the scuttle crab, but it's still vision though. Of course, you always want vision.
Thank you again for if you're just tuning in, trying to keep you here at our stream and keep the attention. It looks like some of the issues you'll deal with that you don't see in your LCS games are ping issues and internet problems. So our Vayne was having internet issues, and it looks like everybody is. We're going to restart the game. It was only 5 minutes into the game. No kills on either side had happened. And the reason why the gold deficit was at about 1K is simply because Vayne had lost internet connection and could not farm out to make it even more even. So
yeah, and it's sad. It's sad when that happens. I mean, you just can't do anything about it when your internet just starts to act like shit.
Yeah,
and then because I mean the people want to see amazing games, you know what I'm saying, and they want to hear our amazing casting all day.
Yeah, and I personally think it sucks for our viewers. It definitely sucks because nobody wants to sit around and watch that happen. But it is what happens, and we're going to try to get this back on the road as quickly as possible. Now, what I'm curious about is if they're going to make them. I would imagine the most fair thing they can do is make them go with the same champions that they just picked, and then we just restart the game. I think it would be a little bit unfair because then you can kind of counter other people. I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait and see what our officials have to say about that. And as soon as they tell me, I will tell you folks.
I'm pretty sure it's the same picks, same bans, because I mean, generally most leagues do that. I've never seen anything where it's like you can totally pick whatever you want, totally ban whatever you want after a restart.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be totally unfair for both sides. Because I mean, you can just straight out just ban the whole team comp if you wanted to at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got up, grabbed me some dinner, left for a brief period of time. What exactly did I miss?
And hold on 1 second. I'm going to let the folks know that the officials have got back to me. It is going to remain the same bans and picks, and we're restarting this game due to internet issues from the Vayne and Team Katarina Wine Mixers. So we're working to get this back on the road as fast as possible. Expect to see the same picks, same bans, and hopefully we see this game get back on the road with good internet connections.
Oh, okay. So the situation is one side couldn't make it back during the pause time and decided to end the game and make a restart happen? Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. Vayne was pretty much having disconnect issues to the point where she couldn't even farm properly.
It was about 8 minutes into the game that Vayne was still level 1. I mean, if you just watch the minimap, Vayne was just walking back and forth in like a triangle at the bot tower because he just couldn't move. He couldn't tell what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. and it's an unfortunate for our viewers and stuff that we have to deal with this. But hey, it happens. We're gonna get back into this game. We all got the first game jitters out, for both sides, and hopefully we see a little comeback coming from Katarina wine mixers.
Okay, let's also make sure we get Sonic in here, because it looks like we're missing him.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting here and I was like, I didn't even think about that. I'm going to cast the game without watching it. I'm just that good.
No thanks, man. We got you. You don't gotta do anything unnecessary. We'll get you in here. There we go.
Yay!
Dun, 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 dun.
Hopefully it doesn't glitch this time, and on my screen I see my name taking the place of someone else. I can't even tell who it is.
Well, mosey your way right on over here. Let's go ahead and get this back underway. Sorry, everybody, for this restart situation. But let's see what's gonna go on this time around. Hopefully, we actually be able to get the whole game played through to the very end.
Absolutely. Let's see it. I'm ready. Ready for game 2 of a 3-game series. Best of 3. Sorry, best of 3. We're not going to game 3 if Supernovas takes the victory in a 2-0 sweep. That happens.
So I guess I'm gonna go back to playing some music then, aren't I?
Yep.
All right, well,
Here.
since this is one of those rare occasions, I might as well just play something a little bit more, a little bit less League of Legends, a little bit more in my repertoire.
Never
so
look
let's
back.
see
Star
what
Wars?
everybody thinks about. No, I can't play Star Wars. Copyright.
Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Nope. Let's try something in a different category. I'm pretty sure people probably aren't gonna like it, but hey, who cares?
Are you certain?
Chaos will follow.
There we go. Alright, I'm gonna go back to mute.
Alright, see ya.
See ya. And what we're seeing right now is they are replicating the bans and the picks that they had. They're banning all the same bans and picking all the same picks. And this is due to an internet issue from Katarina Wine Mixer's Vane. So their ADC was having intermittent internet problems, and so we'll see if we can get that fixed here.
The Draven hover. The troll is real. Now, hopefully, the Shin on Wine Mixers has realized the early game potential of that Darius is insane and will not try to trade with him at least until like level 4 or level 3, at least, where he has some abilities. As we saw, he almost got a kill at level 1. Shin dropped to about 300 health and had a TP back to lane and within 3 minutes.
Yeah, if he goes in there again, I just it might be a time to replace the good old top laner on the Wine Mixers if he makes that mistake twice. That's pretty rudimentary mistake early game. If you're gonna, after you've seen what he just did and then go replicate that again, holy facepalm.
Okay, so just to make this work, Supernova should ban Twitch. I don't know why they just banned Tristana. That was not supposed to happen. Because
yeah,
Supernova banned Tristana last.
That is true. They should go with the Twitch ban. And again, the bans don't matter as much here. They ban Ornn, so that's a little different. The bans don't matter that much as long as they pick the same champs.
Well, see, now the ADC should pick Vayne here. If he picks Twitch, then we have a problem. Because Twitch is now open for a pick.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure our officials
And
will step in and we'll get that taken care of if that happen. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like they go with the same pick as Vayne. And yeah, so the bans don't really matter in that case.
Yeah, and the last 2 picks was Sona and Nami, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sona and Nami.
And now, hopefully we can finally see this bot lane battle. Because I really want to see what happens for both sides. Does one side get super fed, or does it scale to late game? Because if it scales to late game, it's over.
Here's another notable thing that I just noticed. Steiny previously played J4 in jungle last game, has switched with Jaguar Paul and Jaguar Paw is now going to play Sejuani in jungle. So they kind of did a little position change in the team. Maybe this is for the best. Maybe Steiny can play better with Vayne than in the jungle position. So this will be a very interesting change. Good change. You know, when your team loses that bad, you really do need to look at what you need to change, especially if you want to pick up a W in game 2.
Yeah, and Jarvan, as Army said, was a little too trigger happy, or it may have been you. So
yeah,
switching that out, trying to get someone who knows when to engage correctly is definitely a good idea. But it's a good thing you caught that, because I didn't even notice.
Yeah, very interesting.
I mean, his CS was on par with Warwick, just a little bit slower than Warwick, because Sejuani's clear is like, I would say probably about 20 seconds slower, 25 seconds slower than Warwick. So that's why Warwick was able to get the gank top lane faster. So hopefully he might path better this time to get that gank first in the top lane.
So with the changes made from the Katarina wine mixers and both teams in the picks, what is your game 2 prediction in the best of 3 series?
If Shin plays the lane correctly and Bane doesn't die a lot, Katarina wine mixers will win the game. Overall, just throughout late game, because on the other side of Supernova, they see it's a lot of mid-game champions that they have on their team. The only real late-game scaling champion that they have is just the Ziggs. The Ziggs will be able to blow up the Vayne in an instant, and the Soraka, if he lands all of his skill shots. But everyone else, Xayah has to hit her E just to do damage to the team. And if she misses the E, doesn't get the root, all of her damage is out the window.
And if I definitely couldn't agree with you more. I guess going on my prediction, simplified, like you said, Katarina wine mixers, they're a late game team. They scale very well late game, aside from Malzahar, who's early game. Against the composition that they have, as long as they focus on not feeding Darius and kind of shoving him out and making an impact in top lane with Sejuani, I think that needs to be their focus. If they do that, then late game, I think Katarina wine mixers could take this one easily.
Because I mean, for the last game, Katarina wine mixers, if I'm correct, they were playing Caitlyn last game, correct?
Katarina wine mixers? No, that was Supernova who played Caitlyn.
Never mind, just describe what I just said, people. I was about to say something, but it wouldn't make no sense.
Hey, don't worry, I do that all the time. Yesterday they picked ADCs, and then I'm still sitting there chatting about ADCs like that's significant.
Hey, you know, you gotta think of something.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, we're looking at 30 seconds, a little less than 30 seconds until we get into the game here. Waiting for that spectator delay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I probably will lag again, because if it does it every time, I don't know why. I'll have to fix that after this series to see what's wrong. I've never done this before where I've been in a spectator and it lagged that hard for about a good minute. So.
And while we wait, I'd like to chime in here. While we wait, for the people spectating, all the fans out there, the other players in the league, give your prediction. Type it down. We want to hear what you think. Who's going to win this? Hashtag Katarina wine mixers. Hashtag Supernova. Who's going to win? Why are they going to win? What are your predictions as spectators? We want to see it. Wonky hard.
Alright, it looks like it's all good now. I didn't lag at all, so I'm loading in perfectly fine.
Again, while we wait, some of the big changes that have been made from both teams since game 1. We still have I'm Knucking Futz shot calling and leading as captain of the team for Katarina wine mixers. And over on the Supernova side, BT Bunny, who was Orianna mid last game, did very well, is now being replaced with Royal Roy. Curious to see who's calling the shots on their side now. I imagine off of what I saw on the play, it might be Xayah. I don't know if that's the best call in positioning, but or for who calls shots, but we'll find out after this regardless.
I mean, it's like I said before, in my opinion, the support position is, in my opinion, the best way to call a game, because you you can let your ADC passively farm, and then you can be checking the map and see what's constantly going on.
And here they're off. Everybody's off. Probably going to roughly do the same thing. I don't know if Darius is going to go into the blue and hide there. They're definitely going to stop that from happening. They're starting over on blue side.
Yeah, actually, it looks like they're waiting for him.
Yep, they're waiting for him.
They are definitely. This Sejuani needs to hurry up. Oh,
that is not a good play.
He is about to get caught out so hard unless he wards that bush. And Darius is dead. Oh, he started the W. This Sejuani should have started E, and they could have killed him.
Wow, mistake from Sejuani, starting with W and not the E.
Well, it's like they did force his flash, did they not?
They did force the flash. No, they did not. No, they did not. No, they didn't.
Malzahar actually wasted his ignite for that too.
Yeah. That's unfortunate that a 4v5 could not take on Darius early. Not promising. Early, Sejuani probably didn't anticipate that, and that's why Sejuani didn't start with the E, but and it looks like they do have red vision on blue.
Yeah, it looks like Supernova is getting vision on the red side. Oh, no, it looks like they're going to invade on the red side.
Invade on the red side. That's a good, interesting call. I think they can do that. It's definitely going to choke out Sejuani trying to move over to her red camps.
Now, if Warwick goes straight to blue buff, Sejuani should expect this if mid lane has not shown up yet, because mid lane hasn't been seen on the map. So Sejuani should know that they just took her red buff.
And a big mistake in warding from the blue side. They should have had their red warded so Sejuani knows not to go over to red and maybe just go directly into red team's red side. And
it looks like it's a level 1, level 2 gank in the mid lane, but it looked like it was unsuccessful. Now Darius is roaming down into the river. So now it's a 2v3. But it looks like everyone's backing off.
Sejuani standing still, ready to fight. Going back to farming. And Darius going right back into early aggressiveness.
And he's making the same mistake as before.
Same mistake. Wow.
Darius actually could have flashed and killed him with that 5th passive.
And here comes Sejuani.
Yep. Oh,
mistake by Darius. Mistake by Darius.
Huge mistake. Shin will come in. Huge mistake. Ian.
And there you go. First blood.
There you go.
Very nice from Sejuani coming to help out Shin, who looked like just on the brink of death there by Darius. Darius was not able to connect with that last Q or last auto and had to get out of the turret. Sejuani was set up there, ready to go. Very good play from Katarina Wine Mixers, putting that early game pressure on Darius, making sure that he gets behind on farm. But how effective was that on farm? He's still ahead in farm.
Darius is still ahead?
Yeah, he's ahead 6 to 5, which isn't significant right now, but that was an opportunity. Yeah, everybody.
Looks like Sejuani's already coming back in for another gank. Sejuani's about to get the E. The E is procced.
There we go.
Shin has escaped, but it looks like they need to back off because Darius can definitely kill both of them. He should have not gone back in.
Oh.
Darius got the kill. Now Sejuani needs to get out of there fast. He definitely should not go back for that. Okay, well, maybe.
If you do,
if he lands the W, he should be able to.
Ooh.
Nope, he messed up.
Good flash. Did he hit him with a Q?
He hit him with the W. But the problem was that the W actually had shoved him into the range so Darius could get the kill. If he would have waited for his Q to come up, Q first, then W, Darius's Q would have been canceled, but he wouldn't have gotten the heal off.
And so meanwhile, on bot side, we have Vayne and Sona pushing up early game pressure on that Xayah, which you would expect Xayah to be more aggressive early, but comfortability and the champ play there. So
yeah, it looks like he may not have been playing very many games with Xayah, because I noticed he's not. When I play Xayah, you want to spam your Q not very often, but just enough to get 2 feathers out. That way you can harass with your W, get the feathers behind the ADC. You can just get instant harass with your E as well. But it looks like Vayne might kill the Nami before Warwick is coming in. Oh, got the E onto the Vayne. Vayne is feared. And it looks like they're going to make it out after using all their summoner spells. Nope, Soraka still has flash.
Well, that's what they're there for. They're used to make sure that you don't get that death, and that's what Vayne ended up using it for.
Warwick.
It looks like they're collapsing on Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick's caught out. He's trapped, and he got silenced, so it looks like he is definitely going to go down here. Easy kill, easy catch, all day for Katarina wine mixers.
And you have to wonder what Warwick was thinking there. I mean, he kind of went over to the tri-bush, and it's like, you know, Sejuani was just there.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you go in that direction where you could be out of position, which he was, and got clamped on? Yeah, got caught.
I think he was going over there because the lane was still pushing towards his team. So it looked like I think he was going to wait in the tri-bush for a minute and then come back into gank. But if he knew Sejuani was there was no point into going in that push unless he wanted to try to catch Sejuani. But the health difference was way too massive. Sejuani had at least about 300 to 400 health over the Warwick, plus his E, which is just insane against a Warwick. Because I mean, you have no escape after your fear.
Yeah. Looks like Sejuani's farming up as well as Warwick, spread out a little bit. As Shin climbs in farm. I think Shin's doing a lot better so far. Again, he was making some mistakes as far as going in. It looks like he plays Shin like you should play Shin when he has items. Not at level 1, being that way. But he's doing a lot better. That's good improvement. Kind of shutting out Darius, who seems to be a very good free roamer. I think Shin needs to rotate right now. Oh boy!
Yeah, because now it looks like Sejuani's gonna get caught out. He got the E from the Darius with the heal, and that's just the instant easy 2 kills. Okay, now okay, my overlay I cannot see like people's farm and stuff, so I actually don't know how many kills and stuff. It's not popping up, so you're gonna have to explain that.
Bottom left interface visibility button, then click on scoreboard.
My bad, guys, for watching, but I had no idea.
Looks like Shin's out of position, not knowing where Warwick and Darius is, but not a big deal. He can easily get away. Darius looked like he might have been either typing or not paying attention.
If you notice, look at bot lane. Even though Vayne has died once with 1 assist, he's still 10 farm ahead of the Xayah. So I think Supernova's ADC doesn't play Xayah very often because it is very easy to farm with Xayah.
Yeah. And again, as we had mentioned, Xayah is that early game champ where you need to, early and mid game, make a very good impact on early and mid game. And we're not seeing that from this Xayah. And that's not good because when Vayne makes it to late game, anything can happen there.
And I noticed now in mid lane, the mid laner for, I keep forgetting their name, Katarina wine mixers, has actually stopped spamming so much the abilities and actually is saving his mana for the harass. Oh, we got a Sejuani gank coming in. It looks like, oh, then we got the the Malzahar ult. Sejuani hit the E, ignites up, and he's dead. Okay, and the Warwick, is he going to follow up? No, it looks like Warwick is going to back out. We got to fight top lane, though. Shin died.
Shin died. You know, one of the things Shin's kind of off and on as well as he needs to really bait that Q. If you're going to do any damage to Darius, you need to bait the Q. He's definitely going to hit you with his W. But you also have your, you know, he needs to really just bait that Q.
Yeah, what he could do is if Darius pulls him in, slows him, he should taunt him when the Q is coming up. That way, see, just that right there. As soon as he taunted him with the Q up, he got no heal from it because he was just out of the range of the heal from the Q. But the only problem I see with Shin so far is he's playing too aggressively against Darius, and he went with Sunfire Cave first. In my opinion, if he would have picked a Bramble instead, I think he could actually deal with the Darius a little bit easier with that Bramble because he'd be able to still get the same amount of wave clear with the Bramble through the minions, and Darius is going to constantly keep hurting himself as he attacks the Shin. So the heal might not be enough to keep Darius alive.
And right now would be a perfect time to see a Sejuani. Also,
looks like we got a fight bot lane. Zyra Eid, oh, the Vayne instantly gets deleted, or the Soraka instantly gets deleted. Looks like Vayne's going to live. Oh, it's a TP to the bot lane, and it's just 2 easy kills. Darius is now probably going to take control of the game at this point. He's almost finished his Black Cleaver before 10 minutes in the game.
That was a very good TP we saw from Darius. You typically don't see TPs super effective as far as the percentage goes. Like, most of the time, TPs are wasted. And that was a very good TP. Morless picked up the KS there, but nonetheless getting fed as a team.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like now that Zyra has completed this BF sword, she actually has the damage to deal with the Vayne now. Because Vayne, or Soraka instantly got deleted. So, and Vayne at the same time also had gotten deleted, even though it was just really a Darius ult that killed her.
And there we go. We just saw Malzahar. It was what seemed to be a good flash, but just not enough, as the whole team was there to pretty much put a pressure on Malzahar and really solidify that kill.
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, what they should have done is, instead of trying to defend this bot tower, roam down bot, they all should have just roamed top lane or roam mid lane, because there's 2 waves stacked mid, so they could have just tried to take the mid tower or get it low enough to where they can just trade a tower for tower, because then they would still be able to fight with this Ocean Drake, which Warwick secured with his smite. But because Shin doesn't do enough damage to a tower, he's not going to be able to get that by himself. And Darius is about to make it back to lane and just shove him out. So there's no point in trying to get the top lane. Mid lane seems like it would have been the best choice.
And and we see a fail flash from Shin top lane, but Sejuani comes in to help Shin out. I think Shin should just go back and not try to help on this one.
But now it looks like Darius is going to chase the Sejuani.
Now looks like, all right, we got Malzahar rotating to help out as well, but followed quickly by Ziggs.
Yep. All right, Darius hit the E. Oh, he missed the heal, but Malzahar is right there. Misses the silence. So it looks like Darius is just going to back out. And so is Ziggs.
However, we did see Darius put a ward down, so they have vision in the blue side jungle.
Yeah, the problem now that I see also with Katarina wine mixers is that they have no more vision again. Like, where'd all their vision go? Last game, they had so many wards on the top side of their own jungle, or in the river, and some of their jungle. What happened to all their vision game?
Yeah, holy smokes. Supernova is just absolutely dominating on the wards aspect of this game. If you take a look, folks, look at all the wards out. Red team definitely has good ward placement. And blue team's struggling to keep up with the wards, and as everybody should know, vision is what makes it or breaks it for a lot of teams to be able to execute macro decisions properly.
Looks like we had just a small trade bot lane. Vayne got the W passive off, but it looked like it did no damage to Zyra after hill. It looks like we got a fight in the jungle. Sejuani had a flash over the wall. Warwick has flashed as well. It looks like Sejuani's going to make it out, though.
Sejuani's a very good escape artist. I don't think Warwick should have followed up with that flash. I know he got excited because his whole team was around and there was only Sejuani, but you got to kind of know who you're playing against in those respects. And Sejuani was not somebody you really want to base or waste an aggressive flash on, especially in the jungle. Meanwhile,
looks like Ziggs is zoning off the Malzahar from the rift. I hope Shin just backs off. He will die if he goes near them.
It is a smart play from Shin. I know he wanted to see what he can do up there, but I think he realized he wouldn't be able to do anything but maybe die. So it was a good play by Shin by backing off and allowing them to have Rift Herald.
Yeah, most definitely. It looks like Sejuani might set up for a mid lane gank. So I'm pretty sure Sejuani was seen there. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, he knows.
And as effective as Rift Herald can be, it's not always a big deal if used. Well, it looks like he's going to try to use it. I probably would have waited until the minions way cleared, but nope, he has no problem clearing them very quickly.
Yeah, it looks like I don't think he can get the tower, but it looks like he does need help, which Malzahar is coming to help him top lane. But it looks like he'll be able to get the Rift Herald off because he's now allowing the Rift Herald to attack him. Yeah, so the Rift Herald is down, but he took so much harass from Darius because of that.
Yeah.
But Darius is low on mana, so if he doesn't back, Shin and Malzahar actually could kill him with Malzahar's ult. So
I think Malzahar should have stayed rotating towards Darius, because right now we would be seeing a mid gank from Malzahar on Darius, or potentially a double kill for Darius.
If Malzahar ult was up, it should be an easy CC chain to kill the Darius.
Yeah. We got mid lane.
Looks like Malzahar is now getting shoved out of mid lane. Looks like Darius Shin does have TP. He might have to actually TP back to his tower, which he is to save it. So Darius already now has another TP advantage in this game.
Although Vayne is winning, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
It looks like we have a fight mid lane. Warwick used his ult onto Sejuani. Warwick's going in. Oh, he feared the Sejuani. He keeps going. They're chasing. Shin ult comes down. The Nami ult is coming in. It looks like now it's a 4v3. Looks like Sejuani has died. Warwick is so close to dying. So it looks like Shin is now about to die. Very close, very close. Can he escape? Nope. The bubble from Nami lands, and now he's down. And Malzahar needs to get out of there because he has no more mana left to do anything for that team fight.
And I know what they were thinking about trying to pick up a kill with Sejuani, and Sejuani got caught there, and it was kind of go with it. But really, they shouldn't have. They should have tried to do everything to back out of that, knowing that Vayne and Sona were nowhere near to be there for ADC support.
Mm-hmm. And now it looks like Zig's just going to get this tower with the W, which in my opinion is insane. It looks like they're going to try to go on the Vayne through the Zyra, but it just looks like she just missed her ult, just barely.
Looks like Darius got finished off top tower. He's going to put some more pressure on top lane, rotating into the jungle, establishing that vision for red team. I think we're seeing some very good plays from Darius. I really don't think... And Shin's getting built a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you notice, Darius went team at first, or second. I wonder if he's going to complete Titanic Hydra or if he goes for Ravenous Hydra. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for Titanic, but I wonder if he completes it next or he starts on Deadman's. That way he can chase down Vayne or the Soraka in the backline through the Deadman's speed passive.
And it looks like the red team has 3 towers to blue team 0 towers. Blue team looking to make a move here. They're trying to form up as teams. They're pinging over for Dragon. Then we might be setting up and seeing a drag fight really soon here.
Yeah,
maybe
this
not.
Ocean Drake will
keep vision.
Yeah, this Ocean Drake will definitely help out Katarina wine mixtures and keep them sustained a little bit easier against this Supernova's huge lead right now, which is about 7K almost.
And all right, we look like we might be setting up for a drag fight. Now, I think blue team should back off and let it happen, or at least go for the steal. Looks like Sejuani's kind of...
Sejuani can just E or Q over the wall and then just flash out.
Yep. And nope, a little late on that. So Sejuani goes in. They all clamp on Sejuani.
Yep.
Sejuani is trying to do everything she can. She gets out. Warwick caught that.
Vayne's going in on the back line. It looks like the Nami ult went down. Zig's ult has gone down. Looks like Vayne and Soraka are basically stuck. They're dead. Vayne has died. Sejuani's about to die. Soraka's almost about to die. Alright, Sejuani's down, and it looks like they're chasing the Soraka still. It looks like Soraka's not going to be able to make it out. She's about to get feared or just queued to death.
And really, that wasn't a very good fight over by drag side. Reason why is Sejuani can go in and get out, which Sejuani did. I know she picked up, got killed. However, Shin, also a frontliner with Sejuani, and this was not there to help kind of peel and support for the ADC, which is what we probably wanted to see to make that change for the drag fight.
Now, I noticed Sejuani, after she completed her jungle item, she's going for magic resist second. I don't think that's a really good idea because... nope, never mind. Because Darius, Warwick, and the Zyra are all fed at this point, and they're all AD, when Ziggs is only 2-1 compared to the other 3. I feel like she should have gone towards maybe a Deadman's plate or maybe even a Thornmill just to help out through all the AD damage that's coming in. Magic resist isn't that important right now.
And it looks like Steiny is having intermittent internet connections again. We have the pause game. I saw Vayne just sitting there kind of doing nothing but auto-attacking as if she disconnected. So we're going to see if Steiny can reset real quick and see if we can get this game back on the road.
Now, the only thing Catalina Winemakers can do at this point is if they need better rotation to try to defend towers, but they need to get Vayne farm. Like, they need to let that Vayne farm up at this point. Like, she's only at 118 CS. If they can get Vayne to farm up, she will just destroy the other team if they can make it to the late game. But they have to protect her correctly.
And looks like we're back. Vane Reset has a stable
Looks like
internet
Darius
connection right
might
now.
be able to get this.
Hello, guys? Can you hear me? Hello? Guys?
Wine mixers between internet problems, out of position plays, things going all wrong on all sides for Catalina wine mixers right now.
Yeah, it looks like Supernova is now going to the Baron because I mean they're just so far ahead. Catalina wine mixers, even if they can let Fane farm up, they're just so far ahead now after just those extra 4 kills, 3 kills. I mean, and 2 towers, they just can't. I don't think they can catch back up at this point.
Yeah, it's very hard to come back from a deficit of 12k gold, 3 to 16. Right now, again, their best shot at coming back is trying to find picks, but it looks like Supernova is playing very well together to the point where they're just moving as a team. And if they stay as a team right now, I'm pretty sure they can just walk it down mid and easily end the game, especially with a new Baron buff. So let's see how they make the Baron buff play.
And it looks like they're going to just recall, buy their items, and then just do exactly what you said. I bet you they're just going to run it down mid lane and just end the game. Darius might actually get caught out here because it is a 4v1 now, but I don't think they actually could kill him.
Yeah, I think they really need to focus and jump on him right now.
Yeah, because it looks like Supernova is about to get here, so they either needed to go in or just back off, because now Malzahar could get caught out here.
Yep, too late.
Yeah, so it looks like Malzahar's going to get out through the plant. Well, oh, Shin's caught top lane. He's fighting Darius. They keep fighting. Darius is about to get his 5 attacks.
Wow.
Shin's dead. Had to use the Sejuani on the Warwick just to escape. Oh, it looks like Ziggs gets cut out by the Vayne. The Vayne keeps going in. Vayne goes down. And now I think it's just GG at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they could tower dive these 3 people if they wanted to.
I feel bad for Sejuani right now. She's actually playing a very impressive game. She's really being where she needs to be. She's just not having that support to help her.
Gets caught. Instant Warwick ult deleted in seconds. Now the tower's going to go down.
And I feel bad for Malzahar as well. It seems like a really good player. He's not having any support. Really, Sona, Vayne, and Shin weren't there this game to set this up.
Yeah, and in my opinion, they shouldn't be fighting this. These 2 need to run away. They're the last. Oh, Vayne's now up, but Vayne definitely needs to run away. Where's the tank line for the Vayne? Vayne needs protection. They need to stand in front of Vayne, protect her. They just need to give up the inhib, back off, and heal up through the fountain, and then fight once they're healed up fully.
And see what Sejuani was doing right there with knowing that Warwick's ult is down. Vayne should have been in position behind Sejuani to kind of poke at Ziggs right there and maybe get a pick. But nobody was there to help Sejuani, so I mean, the front line's by itself in that case, and it's just spiraling out of control.
It just seems like Vayne just cannot deal skill shot. There's dodge skill shots from the Ziggs right now, because I mean she just keeps getting instantly harassed. Looks like there's minions coming in from all sides now with Baron. I mean this game's about to be over soon.
And just slowly choking them out.
Miracle at this point. The Nami ult comes down. There's 2 slows. Soraka just died. And what are they doing?
And Catalina wine mixers, this is game 2. They're trying to, they just don't have enough to pull it off. So,
yep, game 2 for Supernova. It looks like they're about to make one last ditch effort, but Shin has already been caught. Shin's already down to half health. The Soraya goes in with her ult. Vayne is on the side, dead. And now Malzahar also died. I didn't see that. My bad. Now Sejuani's dead before the Shin ult even comes off. Now it's just Shin and Soraka. It looks like they're mountain diving.
And there it is, folks. Supernova winning with a sweep of 2-0 in a 3-game series. Best out of 3. Solidifying now they are 2-1 in the league. And we have Catalina wine mixers at 0-2, but we have plenty of season, plenty of practices, plenty of scrims to go throughout all the 10 teams in this league. We're going to see how they make it. And for everybody else out there watching, we're looking to have another team come into the league. So if you're around gold or platinum, or you think you're just as good as a gold or platinum, we could try to get you in there. You just cannot be over plat 1. So be sure to message somebody, and we'll get you situated in that.
To go off that point real quick, if you don't mind, real quick. Breezy is actually wanting to make a team. Just to let you all know. So hit Breezy up in the Discord if you wanna join a team, because he's thinking about making a team. So let you know.
Very interesting. I thought Breezy was on Cryo. That should be interesting turn of events.
Was it Breezy?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
Yeah, long story short, the situation for you guys is apparently we did not meet our quota of view count this time around, which means we do not have enough people for the voting situation this time. So I guess that means it's up to you guys now to, well, long story short, pick our MVP. And I hope you have enough information here, Sonic, to make a fair and balanced assessment, considering you only saw at least a little bit of game 1 and game 2.
No, I only missed like 10 minutes of game 1.
Oh, okay. Well then, good. All right then. I guess.
I know exactly who I'm picking. I'm picking the top laner of Supernova to be MVP.
Absolutely. Hands down, I'm gonna pick the top laner, Brolion Swole. A very, very good performance from him tonight. We saw in game 1 he picked Renekton and just dominated over Singe. Didn't think Singe was a good pick. However, in game 2, Singe had the chance to counter back and was not able to do so with the Shin pick against Darius.
And if you look at the damage for game 2, Darius almost doubled the damage of his ADC on his team, and he's just a bruiser. He almost doubled Zyra's damage.
Exactly. So that's my pick, and for the MVP for the night, we're gonna hand it off to Brolion Swole. If you could join General, and we'll get you into the caster booth and see what we can do by asking you some questions and congratulating you.
I'm gonna look at while we're waiting for him. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the vision here. Wards place. Let's see. If you look at Nami, actually only played 16 wards this game compared to last game.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome, Brolion Swole. You did a very good job. Brolion Soul. Yeah, sorry about that. You did a great job. Congratulations on winning MVP of the series. You really, really seemed like you carried the team mostly. Nobody could stop you. You were forced to be reckoned with, and very impressive night. What was going through your mind in both of the matchups for you in game 1 and game 2 with the picks that you had to face off against Shin and Singe? What were your thoughts going into those matches?
Well, the first thing going into the night was I was coming from the previous night. They gave me my main, which is Jace, when we were playing against last team that had Frosty on it. And he is an excellent top laner. I misplayed super hard, and it basically I also wasn't shot calling that night. We're kind of in jumbles, and I'd previously been in a shot calling role when I played for collegiate. So then Bunny tonight basically told me to stop being a pansy and basically step into a shot calling role tonight, which I kind of did. And my main goal was to kind of put pressure. I knew they were going to pick more team-oriented top laners, because when I looked at the guy, he didn't really have any like Renekton or Jace or Fiora, any like lane dominant ones. So I figured I could just play a lane bully, push it out, basically open up the map, force the jungler topside, and kind of take control of the whole game. And it's basically what happened.
Yeah. Did a very, very good job at that. Congratulations again, winning MVP. And what are your predictions going forward? Yesterday, if you were tuned in, KD9 or DK9. Sorry, DK9 is top of the league right now at 3-0, and their ADC made a very, very less than humble comment saying nobody can take them, very confident that they're just going to sweep the entire league. Do you think you guys have what it takes to stop a team like DK9 in their venture to go undefeated?
I think it depends on what we bring in. They're definitely a really, really good team. I have some history with the jungler of Have Faith. I played on a team with him. He's a really, really good jungler. They definitely put pressure on him. I kind of focused more on playing against them and shutting him down because he talked some trash to me. So focusing on that, and then from there on, going for DK9 after that. But we'll see what happens.
Now, I actually have a question for you real quick in this
Yep.
game, too. How did you feel, or what was going through your head when all of a sudden you walk into that blue bush and there's 4 people there and they couldn't kill you?
It actually, when the game
You didn't even waste your flash, it looked like.
When the game started, I told my team, I was like, guys, I'm going to walk in this bush and they're all going to be in the blue bush.
So you even knew that they were there, yet you still walked into it.
Well, that's why I threw the ward over the top first. I figured they weren't going to wait for me. If they had waited for me to walk fully into the bush, which they should have, that probably would have been an easy kill. But I was just going to drop a ward there to see if Sejuani was going to start on that side. I told him to take red because I figured that they're going to be top side, and I figured she was going to start blue if they went in on that. And then I don't know why Malzahar ignited me because I had enough distance between me and the team to where I wasn't ever going to need flash because none of them started a gap closing ability or anything like that. And I saw Sejuani start her W, which was weird. So she didn't have any hard CC really. So I kind of just casually walked away and I guess got an ignite out of it, which worked.
Yeah, because I mean, if Singed would have just started his taunt and Sejuani would have started his E, you would have just died. You would have died.
Yeah, I mean,
you would have to at least waste your flash.
Yeah, I figured I was gonna have to flash, but I kind of tried to keep it as long as I could because I knew if I had that advantage, then it'd be pretty easy because the guy plays Singe, their top laner, was really aggro the game before, even when I was ahead. I figured it was kind of a habit and he was gonna do the same thing again. So which did, and then he blew his flash early, and it was kind of easy from there. When Sejuani got that successful gank, and I don't think at that point I'd blown my flash yet. I figured that she was going to come top lane again, so I tried to poke him down, get ready for the second gank, and I kind of tried to do what Frosty did to me last game when we played. So
yeah, and it worked out for you. You got the kill and lived.
Well, that was a very good a game that you guys played.